9 games, winless in 9. Now, Toronto FC walk into a 7-week World Cup break with absolutely nothing to show for it. A 2-1 loss at Soldier Field, another night where the effort was there, but the result wasn't. Josh Sargent came back, scored an absolute worldie, and it didn't matter, because this is classic TFC. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. 2-1 Chicago, and now we sit in the dark for 7 weeks. Robin Fraser said after this game, and I quote, "By and large, we played pretty well. 9 games winless, 14 points. That's TFC's season." Welcome back to TFC Unplugged. I'm Noel, no Sean this week, and we are here again talking about another loss, another week of saying the same things. TFC go down 2-1 at Chicago, and it's now 10 games without a win across all competitions, 9 in MLS. And what's the worst part? We're not even that terrible. That's what makes it so frustrating. They weren't terrible. They actually had chances. They competed, but competing and getting a result are two very different things at the moment. And right now, this team can't buy a result. Yes, we can talk about the injuries, but you sometimes just need to get a result. And now we don't play until July 16th. That's 7 weeks. 7 weeks to sit with 14 points, 3 wins on the season, and a whole lot of questions. Robin Fraser made some changes. Nixon Gomes gets his first start of the season. Josh Sargent came back into the starting lineup after missing 3 games with a thigh injury. And, I'll be honest, straight away, Josh Sargent nearly scored in that 5th minute, I think. Henry puts a ball in across, Sargent gets a foot to it, and Chris Brady makes the save. And it was a good sign. I thought, this is it. The guys are clearly up for it. We might have a shot at this. And I'll be honest, when I saw Sargent in the lineup, I thought, okay, at least we have a threat up top. And it showed early, but then, typical TFC fashion, 22 minutes, Chicago slices us open. Kuipers, who's been on fire lately, scoring in 10 straight games, didn't score Saturday, but he didn't need to. His layoff to Selassie, 1 touch to Lod, and Lod just passed it into the bottom corner. Gavrin, should he have got that? I think a top keeper would have saved that. I think he is a step too far one way. At the end of the day, it's a good finish. Don't get me wrong, but I think your keeper should be saving that. But here's the positive. We don't get too many of those. 12 minutes later, Sargent delivers. Coelho wins it back. And by the way, it was Coelho's 100th appearance for TFC. Shout out to him. He plays in Shallowy, gets it back, and slides an absolute dime of a through ball between the 2 Chicago defenders. Sargent's first touch, bang, upper top corner, top bins. That was just a gorgeous goal. And that's what that's why we need him. That's the guy we brought in. First touch, no hesitation, just pure quality. And honestly, for about 10 minutes after that, TFC were the better team. Sargent nearly gets a second, beats Elliott, top of the box, puts it over. Etienne forces a save right before halftime. And 1-1 at the break, and you're thinking, all right, we got a shot here. And then the second half starts. And it's just different. The energy drops. The Chicago comes out with more intent, and Fraser makes a change at halftime. Monlouis comes on for Gomes, which makes sense. Then at the 61st minute, Sargent comes off. It was pre-planned for 60, so, that's what they said. And look, I get it. He's coming back from an injury. You can't run him around into the ground. But when Sargent walks off, that threat walked off. Aristobal comes on, and it's just not the same. He had a good game a week before, but, it's not that. That's the problem with the squad. We just got generally... We lack a little bit of options off the bench. Etienne's working hard, but he's not the guy. Shallowy's been good. Another assist, on Saturday. He's got 9 contributions since joining. But after Sargent goes off, the team looked a little laboured. And then they kill a goal. The 65th minute happens, and honestly, this is where I put my hands in my head. It's a set piece again. Just set pieces again, and Sika Nagel, who I think is an amazing player, whips in a corner, and TFC, clear it. Monlouis gets ahead to it, but Sika Nagel collects it, rebounds, swings it back in, and Gutman of all people rises and flicks it out into the far post, and it was game over at that point. And that's the thing that drives me insane, is we've seen this movie so many times. As second phase of a set piece, and, we don't deal with it. And, where's the marking? Where's the reaction to the second ball? There isn't one. And that is the pattern that we've seen a lot of times this year. And Gavin made a diving save late to keep it at 2-1. Credit to him for that. But the damage was done, and we just didn't look like scoring again. And that was the second half in a nutshell. Hey, if honestly, we don't blame you if you're not, turning off at this point, because it's generally the stuff that, drives you crazy. It is the stuff that we keep seeing every week. And, I think, week after week we suffer with these kind of moments with TFC. And I think at the end of the day, you look at that first half, and I thought the first half was really good, really solid. And again, Robin Fraser coming out saying we did pretty well, but we haven't got a win. And, the questions are being asked to Fraser, and yes, there's the injury situation. And, by and large, yeah, we get it, that it's a struggle, and you've got some players back, and we are just missing, I think, one too many players at this point. And this season needs to get back on track. And I think, unfortunately, we have to sit now and wait for the 7-week break while the World Cup gets on. We will obviously, have a lot of questions. What's going to happen in the summer window? The Cifuentes issue is still on the horizon. We've got players, coming back, our players leaving. So we'll see what they're going to do. It's a heartbreaker because I think TFC, if you took that first 45 minutes, had a chance. And, it was nice to see Gomes back. I thought he played very well in the first half, just to shout out to him. But, these aren't bad players, but they're being thrown into a situation where I just don't think it's the right leadership at the club. I think we all know that. I think TFC has questioned that. Jason Hernandez, I think he's now only got something like 18 wins in 96. The record's not great. Robin Fraser's now only got 9 wins in 50. The questions are being asked of the hierarchy. Keith Pelly keeps saying that, hey, the rebuild's complete. Is it, Keith? Is it really? Because I can tell you, 9 wins in the league, 9 games without a win in the league is not a rebuild that's complete. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. We'll be back soon with some more content. We might be doing a little bit of stuff during the World Cup, so we're really excited. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all, and don't forget to like and subscribe and catch up with everything from TFC Unplugged. Thanks again, and have a great day.
Like what you hear? Smash that like button, subscribe now.